Okay, so this should be the last video explaining how to do edits. So we're going to be updating today in CRUD. Now, let's get started with edit. So we want to get edit to work. And that would be where? That'd be in our index. Here's edit. So why don't we do that? Why don't we edit? And again, we want to send the ID through, right? So dog ID. So that should send us over to an edit page. Now we have to make that particular URL. So let's do a route. app.route /edit / and then of course int ID, just like before. Same process as before. So we're going to define an edit function, which takes in our ID. And inside, we are going to return a render template of our edit.html. So we're also going to want to grab that particular dog. We can take this syntax up here for showing one, because we need to send that dog information through and be able to fill the form with the previous dog's information. So it's important that we grab that dog really quick. So let's go ahead and make the new HTML called edit. I'm going to grab edit.html, put it in the correct place. We're going to do a template, and we're going to say edit. Why don't we say, can't see nothing, edit dog, and then Jinja syntax for dog at ID. So we're going to edit that particular dog. Now, why don't we just copy the create form, right? Let's copy this whole form, and we're going to make some edits to it. So there's that. And in here, the only difference here is we're going to want to populate these form elements with the value of the dog. Because right now, if we were to refresh and hit edit, we'd go to the correct one, right? We're editing this dog. You can see edit dog 3 appear. I should probably put a header. Should probably make a header that says edit, and then why don't we do like the dog's name, right? Or no, we'll do the ID. Dog ID. So we need to make it so that the values are pre-populated. This is actually very easy. We use the value attribute, and we use Jinja syntax inside of it just like before. So we would do dog and then dname, okay? And I'm going to just copy this over here, change this to breed, and then to age, just like that. Now what we should see is you'll notice it's pre-populated. We have the age, the breed, and the name pre-populated for us. So if we choose not to change it, or we want a reference of what it was, we can now do that. You know, misspellings and such. So now that we have that set up, this is officially set up to be edited. The only thing left to do is we have to actually implement the edit on submit. So we want to be able to submit this form up here. We don't want it to be on process. We want it to be on update, right? And it's a post request, so that can stay the same. So now we just need a update method inside of our class. So we're going to do @class method, okay, def update, and it's going to take in class and the data, because we do need data this time. And like before, like before, we're going to want a query equals, just like this, update dogs. We're going to want to set the dname equal to our computed string of dname. That's going to come from the form. And we can do multiple in the same. So we're going to want to do this, and we're going to do breed, which equals another computed string of breed, just like that. Then we're going to do one more for age equals age S, and I think that's all we need. And we're going to do a where because we need the ID to equal the one that we send through. So we're going to do ID. Just like that, and then we do a semicolon. Now that is our query. So the place we're going to get this ID from is actually going to come directly from the URL we're going to send through here. So we need to specify that again. So we'll just send it through as dog ID, just like that, because this is a particular instance of it. We're already using it here and here. We might as well send it through the URL as well. So let's make this return of connecting to the SQL with cls.db.query the DB. We're going to send that query through, okay? And then the data as well. So there's the data, and that's going to be essentially the same as everything we've done so far. It should be pretty much it for that. So let's go in here. We have to create this update method now. And I guess we'll do it here. Oops. At app.route, we're going to do, what do we do? Update. And this is a post request. And we're going to do another int ID, just like that. Methods equals post. Okay. We're going to define update using said ID. And we're going to return a redirect to the root, just like before. Right now, we want to do dog.update. Okay, and we're going to do request, just like before, dot form. That should send through everything we need into the update area. The only difference is we need to combine this form with the ID because we haven't actually sent the ID in. We need that ID. So we can also just completely make it right here. So we can do ID is equal to ID. Okay. And we're going to do the request.form as well. So we're going to have to do dname is equal to request.form. And then we send through dname. Okay. And then I'm going to copy this 2 more times for breed and age. So we're going to get age here and breed here, and then we can just send through data instead. So we did have to deconstruct a little bit, but we definitely need to identify that ID. Okay, so that should be about it for the route. Why don't we, we have to change this to update dog. Update dog. Yay. Update the dog. And when we update it, it's going to go to this post request. It's a post redirect to the root. We should see the updates immediately. So we're going to update Cupcake, edit. We're going to name him to John, update, and boom. We have a new dog name of John. We can check our SQL again, and we see that John, our Cupcake, has been renamed to John. So that definitely worked out. So we're going to probably want to add an edit button to this screen. So if I go into here, which is in show, yep, we're going to make a new form. Okay, and we want to redirect to that edit screen, and that one is /edit/ and then the Jinja syntax for dog ID. Now that's a GET request, so we don't have to worry about posting. Type submit, and the button will say what? Edit? I think edit's a good word for it, so we're going to go edit, refresh. We get our edit button, and it brings us right here. It says John Pomeranian 1, just like before. Edit, go home, it all works. Here's show. We have edit and delete, and go home. Do we add delete? Should we add delete to the edit screen? Why not? So here's the edit screen. Why don't we add one more form? We could probably just copy it directly from here. So here's the delete button. Why don't we add it above the update? So we're just going to copy and paste it. It should work basically the same. And let's refresh. Now we get a delete button here as well. So instead of editing the dog, I can just say goodbye, and now we have nothing. So one last thing I can show before I head out is why don't we add a default of none to each of these? So if there's no data, it just displays none. It's actually very easy. We go into our index, which has everything. Here's a for loop. Now, all we have to do is add some Jinja syntax using parentheses, and we say if dogs. That's it. It's going to check for truthiness if there's anything in it. If there is, it runs this. And then underneath the for loop, we say in Jinja syntax, else. Okay? And then we have to close that else, and we say what? And if, just like that. And now anything in between will be what's run. So all we have to do is add that table row, right? And then how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do a table data of none, and we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And now if we refresh, it says none. So we have a population of nothing. There's nothing here to display. Okay, but if I add a dog, say we're going to add George back in, right? I don't remember his age, so I'm going to make him young. He gets to live forever. We add a dog, and now it doesn't say none anymore. But if I delete, we get none. So now we have a default. That's good. We just had to add a if above and saying that if dogs exists, right? It's not an empty array. There's something in it. Then we'll do this for loop. Else, we just display this, which is nothing. And then we end that if statement. The if and else is combined, and we're ending that if. That if is the main thing here we're ending. The else is an extra in it. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We've definitely made some leeway here when it comes to being able to add dogs and all that stuff like that. Being able to edit said dogs. So if I do Tim, cool, it's 2. We have the ability to show that dog, right? We have the ability to edit that dog from a bunch of different screens. We can delete that dog from multiple screens. And we've officially made at least for following the rules of CRUD, we have done all 4. And then some, because we've rerouted, done a bunch of stuff.